Y'all, when I tell you what's going on in grocery stores right now is unbelievable. People can barely afford the basic necessities of life. This is getting out of hand. People are crying out for help, but the silence is deafening. And all across America, people are fed up. They're asking their governments for help, but things just keep getting higher and higher, y'all. Rent, bills, food, and they're just fed up.
I ain't gonna believe this freaking crap. Me and my husband just left the grocery store, walked out with not even 4 bags, and paid over almost $300 something. Everything has just went up double. Like, what the heck, man? This is getting crazy. We can't even afford groceries anymore. My husband brings home not even $500 a week. And we can't afford this freaking crap. And we went to fill out for freaking food stamps to get help. They denied us. They said he made too much.
Check here. I am at the Walmart in Rochester, Indiana. And I went to grab coffee because I'm out of coffee and was kind of shocked. The 38.2 ounce coffee, Maxwell House, is $21.44. So I was curious, and I looked back, and in October of last year, so almost a year ago, I paid $12 and some odd cents. I'll put the receipt on this later for the same exact amount. I mean, if you think tariffs or inflation or something's not increasing the costs, you're messed up in the head.
Just walked into a random grocery store to get chocolate chips to make chocolate chip pancakes, and I get to the aisle. Do you want to know how much they are? You're never gonna guess. Let me flip. $10.39 for Nestle Toll House. $17.79. Dude.
For chocolate chips?
Are seriously getting robbed. And whose economy?
I just spent $72 on stuff to make chili, and that's going to feed my family maybe 2 nights. $72. Y'all going to figure something out up there in Washington, D.C.
Okay, what the fuck is going on with food right now? This is literally 93.7. It's all organic or whatever, all grass-fed for $10.49 fucking pound. That's ridiculous. Even down here for $85.15, it's more. It's $11.50. You know, that's organic or whatever. Still, you have 96.4 for $8 a fucking pound. What the fuck's going on?
This is getting out of hand. It's to a point where people can't live. And I just want to show you something. This right here, I just went grocery shopping for very basic things. Very basic. This amounted to $100. Like, this isn't even... You're telling me this is $100? This isn't even barely anything to feed me for a couple days.
Okay, I just got done with Walmart. If you saw my video just a little bit ago about how much I spent for just 29 items. I had to use my credit card because I couldn't afford it. I'm a single mom. Come on, people. Trump, everybody, lower the grocery bills. We gotta eat. We gotta feed our kids. Come on, really take this seriously. Trump, administration, anybody listening, please lower the grocery bills.
You guys want to talk about some crazy shit? This is $100 worth of groceries. $100 even. That's before taxes. $100 right here.
No one's freaking out harder about how high grocery prices are right now. In 2020, my grocery bill was $100 to $150 a month. Now, it's $300 to $350 a month. And now, I don't even buy meat. I can't afford it. I dumped Publix. I only go to Target because it's the cheapest option near me. I almost never buy the name brand stuff. This is beyond inflation at this point. This is just a full-on scam. Last week, I went and got salt, shaving cream, and a salad kit. Altogether, these 3 tiny things cost $10.31. A box of salt was $4. Like what? I could rub it on my skin and live forever? It's
$700.05. That is what I just spent at Walmart to buy groceries for my home, to buy our essentials. Like, I didn't buy anything wild and crazy and extra. The only thing that I would say that I bought that was extra was I bought a couple of those cheap t-shirts that are like the $5 t-shirts in the kids section because my daughter loves them. 2 of my daughters love them. And then I bought a pair of $7 black shorts for my daughter because she needed some. So that wasn't even extra because she needed some. And I bought me a pair of shorts. $700. I can't afford this. Like, I'm a teacher, and my husband also works for my school district. And the cost of living has gone up so freaking much, but we're not raising teacher salaries. We're not raising them. We're not making them match what is happening right now.
And it's piling up like a weight on people's back, y'all.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, and that is who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashim, meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world also ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man, who, by the way, only came for the Israelites. Okay? Now, what we have here is a video of individuals complaining about how high the prices for groceries are. And they're barely being able to keep their head above water. All right? And this isn't even the beginning. All right? This isn't even the beginning, okay? Because once full collapse has commenced and we are in the midst of Jacob's trouble, you ain't going to be able to get nothing at all, okay? As we're going to go into that in Revelation, the 6th chapter, okay? Because right now, you're still keeping your head barely above water. But once Jacob's trouble is here and the famine hits, and whatever little bit of resources they have pertaining to food, you can almost bet your bottom dollar, your last dollar, that prices are going to skyrocket astronomically. Okay? And people are going to be paying it because why? They have no sense of independency. The system stripped their independence from them in the form of what? In the form of having, particularly the women, all right? It stripped the independence by putting the women into the workforce. From that point forward, moving forward, that really stripped the individuals here in America of their independency. And you may ask, well, how is that possible? Well, because before feminism took place, a woman would stay at home, tend to the house, what do you call that when you take a needle and you do things, patch up clothes and make clothes? I want to say needling, but I may be wrong, but you get the picture. But the point was, the man would go out and bring and work and bring home the proverbial bacon, all right? And the woman would cook it. And it would be a sense of order. But once they introduced the woman to the workforce, along with her being introduced to the workforce, what also took place was what? Now she don't have time to cook. She don't have time to cook. She don't have time to plant like gardens or whatever. And now in the latter days of this feminism movement, she can even become her own woman where she lives on her own. And now the advent of apartments where you have multiple people living in one unit where before as you had a family that had land that could actually form and take care of themselves and didn't need to rely on the government. All right, because why? The order, the family was established. Now I'm speaking particularly about the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American families, okay? Because it impacted us the most, all right? The government sought to play the role of the father by incentivizing our women to receive aid by not allowing the father to be around, all right? And this was passed down from generation to generation. So now we're starting to see the repercussions of this, and people are complaining. You can't complain when you were at one point in time, profiting off this system, okay? At one point in time, you didn't complain back in the 80s and 90s, okay? You didn't see the the long-term effects of it until what you're seeing right now. And this ain't even the end game. All right? When the end comes, you're not going to be able to afford any of this. This is why they're going to roll out the mark of the beast, which is going to give you relief and aid from all this high prices. And this is why people are going to take it. Because why? They're not going to have any other option or choice. All right? But to use and receive the system, because they don't have any other form of self-independence. They don't know how to farm. They don't know how to plant. They don't know how to make their own clothes. Back in the days, they knew how to do that. The women knew how to do that. All right? The women would, needle or whatever it's called, if you understand what I'm trying to say, where they would knit their own clothes. Okay? They would knit their own clothes. All right? They would make their own food. They would grow their own vegetables in their gardens. Okay? They would tend to their children. All right? But now, all of that's gone. It's fast food this, fast food that. Go to the grocery store. See, grocery stores weren't needed back then. Okay? You farmed. You had your own food. It was fresh. It was good for the body. But see, the advent of introducing the woman to the workforce, it threw everything off. Okay? And it was all by design. Okay? It was all by design. And our women, they went, trying to integrate themselves with the so-called white woman in the workforce. They wanted to be the same way. And that's essentially what disrupted or broke up the house. Okay? So there's no complaint. There's nobody to complain other than yourself. Okay? So you need to get prepared, fast, because, hey, thinking you're going to eat 3 times a day, thinking you're going to eat every day. Okay? It's going to be a rude awakening when it comes. And if you ain't prepared, how you going to get by it? All right? That's why fast as much as you can and pray. All right? Prepare for what? The battle. 2nd Ezra 16:40. Make thyself ready for the battle. See these what am I trying to recall? These GMOs, these foods, these fake foods, they're not doing you any good for when the famine comes. Because why? These GMOs, these genetically modified organism foods, these fake foods, they don't pack the nutrients and the nourishment that you need to get you through a long day. Okay, real food you can eat and you can pretty much get through a whole day off of one meal. But now, these genetically modified organism foods, they don't pack the same nutrients as they did back in the day. So people really gonna feel the pain, man, from eating all these GMOs and fake foods and fake products like dyes, red dye number 6. All this stuff they put in the food to quote unquote preserve it and have a longer shelf life. It's gonna be the death of a lot of you Americans, man, because why? Y'all ain't gonna be able to make the transition to get off of that food, that fake food, when the famine comes. This is why they got lab-grown meat. You got to understand, Jacob's trouble is gonna be a time like never before, man. And the people complaining now, but wait till when they see when everything and all the troubles come past all at once. So this is Isaiah 33:6. It says, "In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure." See, we are in this word daily, okay? Understanding the times that's fastly approaching, and we're preparing ourselves mentally and spiritually and physically to an extent, okay? So once Jacob's trouble is here, it's not going to catch us off guard as it will do others, okay? We're going to be prepared, all right? We understand, we know it ain't going to get any easier from here on out. That's not the design. That's not the plan. That's not their agenda. Their agenda is to incrementally worsen the society and the dollar and the economy until it collapse or implodes on itself. And you people start to what? Go back and forth at each other. Civil unrest. Okay? So they're already setting the stage. This is already determined. All right? It's written in biblical prophecy. Let's jump over to Revelation 6:6. This is Revelation 6:6. It says, the third seal, famine. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. I beheld, and lo, a black horse. Now, this black horse represents famine. This is what's coming to the land, all right, particularly here in America. It says, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, a measure of wheat for a penny. Now let's go into that word penny so we can get a little bit better understanding. Because is it talking about an actual penny? No. Okay. This is the Greek word.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
Denarion. Okay, it goes into containing 10, but let's look at A. A Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC, increased to 16 about 3.898 grams or 1375 ounces. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire from the parable of the laborers and the vineyard. It would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. So this penny is a denarian, which is roughly a day's pay. They would give the Roman soldiers. So it's telling you when the famine comes, you're going to pay a day's wage, which is what? Roughly $100 to $300 an individual make a day for some wheat, for some bread, which usually goes for what? $3 right now? $4 at the most? That goes to tell you what type of famine is going to come to the land, man. Where you're going to pay a day's wage, $100 to $300, depending on where you at, what part of the country you in. All right. Down here in Florida, a good day's wage for, an average worker is anywhere from 100 to 150, a typical 8-hour day. So imagine paying that for some wheat, for some bread. Okay. People are really going to lose it. All right. They're really going to lose it, but they're going to have no other choice because why? They don't know anything else. They don't know how to farm. They don't know how to cultivate the land. They don't know how to do anything except for work these mindless, what's the word I'm looking for? These mindless, numb jobs. Just go in there, you just going to work just through repetition. Get up, shower, brush your teeth, eat, go to work. That's it. You just put it on repeat. These mindless, numbness jobs. They don't know anything else. And then they give them the old bread and circus where to keep you more occupied from working. They'll throw you a basketball game, a football game, a boxing match. Same thing they did back in the days of the Roman Empire, man. To keep the people dumbed down, they would give them bread and circus. All right, here's bread, come to the circus, enjoy yourself, to keep them from what? Realizing that they're under oppression. It was a distraction, the same way it is today with sports. It's all a distraction. But once this famine hits, it ain't going to be no more distraction. People going to feel it, and they're starting to feel it right now. All right? Complaining about this little inflation, but wait till the true famine hits. Okay? So it says, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wage. So you see some of the comments on the video that I was scrolling down. I mean, the famine, to the extent where all hell is going to break out, hasn't really hit the shelves of the stores just yet. But it's coming. Whether it's orchestrated or whether it's a natural famine, it's here. You have farmers out there in Arkansas complaining, you see. But it's really going to take toll on these individuals in these cities, okay? Because they rely on trucks coming and bringing them food so that they can get to the store after working their 9 to 12-hour day shifts. Some too tired to go home and cook a meal, so they jump in the car, stop at the grocery store, and get microwave dinners and dishes and all that stuff like that. Imagine paying $100 for a hungry man microwave dish. Man, man, that's why wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, man, because we understand what's coming down the pike, all right? And this is why we're finding ourselves more and more embedded into this truth, man, so that when all hell breaks loose, the Lord will look out for his servants, okay? Let's get that. Isaiah 65 and 13, because we going to be in the midst of the famine. See, that rapture doctrine tell you, oh, you ain't going to be here when the great tribulation take place. No, man. Where is if you are raptured for 7 years in the great tribulation, where is the sense of giving the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, praises for delivering you? Because he's going to be performing miracles. But if you go somewhere in thin air, how are you going to give the Lord praises when miracles are being performed that he's going to do in that time of Jacob's trouble? See, they're discrediting the Lord with this BS rapture doctrine where you are taken for 7 years and gone. You're taking the Lord glory, man, because he's going to take care of his elect. And we're going to read it, Isaiah 65 and 13. If you taken in a rapture, how is this going to come to pass? This is Isaiah 65 and 13. It reads, therefore, thus saith the Lord Almighty, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. See? So in the time of the famine, the Lord's going to make a way for his servants to eat, where they don't have to compromise themselves and go down and take that microchip to what? Buy and sell. To get a little bit of relief. To get a universal basic income. All right? Jacob's trouble is going to try the whole earth, man. You ain't going to escape by some fairy tale rapture where you get taken away for 7 years and then you come back down after everything that happened. Where are the miracles that's going to be performed that you're supposed to be witnessing and giving for testifying that day? It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Almighty, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. See, we're going to be giving praises. We're going to be giving glory. We're going to be rejoicing. Call halal, all praises. Call halal Yahweh to Yahweh, by Hashem in the name, Yahweh Shai, who the word calls Jesus. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh in the name of the anointed Yahweh Shai. We're going to be giving praises. Because why? The Lord delivered us. He brought us food. When we didn't think we would get food, all of a sudden a miracle. Food was there at our front door. Or we checked our cupboards and in our pantries and we looked and we only had a little bit of meal the night before, and in the morning we checked it, and now guess what? That pantry has been replenished with enough meal to last us for another 4 or 5 days or so. See? These are the type of miracles the Lord are going to perform for his elect in those days. But you can't partake in that if you in this so-called rapture doctrine, man. The famine is coming to affect the whole earth. But it's going to affect America the worst because these Americans, they don't know how to go a day without eating. Okay? They don't know how to fast. They haven't fast. They do a fast for a day and it's based on drinking water or liquids. They haven't did a real fast where you don't drink or eat. That's what a real fast is. They call it an intermittent fast. You fast half a day. You may have to go a day or two without eating once the famine hit. And if you ain't been raised up and trained in that to go that long, you may fall weak and go down and get, as they say Isaiah 31, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You may go down to one of these detention centers or one of these FEMA camps and ask for relief and take that RFID microchip. And then you're going to be destroyed. See? Well, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times. We understand what's coming. And we're preparing ourselves by what? Finding ourselves integrated into this truth, this word, daily. Okay? So we don't be, as the others, ignorant to knowing what's getting ready to come. Okay? So we staying in it because why? We understand the importance of keeping the Lord word and patience. Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. The famine is going to be in there because a lot of people are going to come down and get that chip because why? They ain't going to have no food and they're going to offer them food and whatever else down here in the detention centers or FEMA camps or wherever these chipping stations are going to be at. And if you receive it, you'll be able to get whatever you need. See, but the elect that has faith, has kept the word and patience, they're going to be taken what? Care of through what? Miracles. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. See, it's coming down to your faith, all right? Your faith is going to be put on trial, all right? Your works is going to testify of your faith, your belief. Because these Christians saying you ain't got to do and keep none of the laws. Just keep the 10. As opposed to the rest, you ain't even got to attempt to try to keep them. See? Oh, ye of little faith. Those individuals that think like that and have that mindset that you just got to do the bare minimum, you're going to see what happened in those days, man. All right, but those of us that are putting our best foot forward and keeping the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of our ability, as it says in Judges 5:11, rehearse the righteous acts. We're going to pray for the Lord to deliver us in that day. And if we are the elect, guess what? He's going to make good on his word. We reading it. We just read it. Revelation 3:10. So don't fear any of these things. Even if you have to be tossed into prison. That's covered in the scriptures. Salakia. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. See? So sure, we're going to suffer some of these things that's written in the Bible, but it says to give us reinsurance. Yahweh is reciting to us, fear none of those things. He's telling us beforehand what to prepare ourselves for. He says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. So some of us will be thrown into these prison camps, these FEMA camps, these detention centers. It says that ye may be tried, see? And ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is just a period of time. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. What did we read in Revelation 3:11? Let no man take your crown, man. So don't fall out of the truth because your faith is weak. If your faith is weak, what do you need to do? Pray more, fast more. Ask the Father to, strengthen you through the only begotten Son, Yahweh. This is our times to get right, to get prepared. All right, because soon the famine of the word is going to hit. And we ain't going to be able to get this information and this knowledge. Whatever we have and obtain up until that point is what we're going to have to go off on. That's why this word got to be within you. You got to live it. You got to eat it. You got to breathe it. It has to become you. All right? You have to be possessed with this word, man. That's how the Holy Spirit sups with you. All right? So be prepared, man, because these other heathens and 2/3 of our people, they going to lose it. They ain't going to have no idea of what's really going on. All right? And here it is. The truth has been in front of them the whole time, but they turned their nose up at it and they scoffed it. So when it comes to pass, and it will come to pass, then shall they know a true prophet has been before them. Let's get that and then we'll close out. Got to be Ezekiel. Maybe it's 33. This is Ezekiel 33 and 33. It reads, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. So everything that's written in this Bible is going to come to pass. And the men that has been telling you, they are going to be sought out and found to be what? It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. See? So all that scoffing and mocking, when these prophecies start to hit and come back to back, and that domino effect take place, they're going to know in the back of their mind, damn, them men that were on the highway and hedges preaching and teaching that and making videos and putting up videos daily and weekly and telling us that Babylon the Great would be destroyed. Damn, I wish I would have took heed to what they were saying. Now it's too late. Number 46, come on up. Stick out your right hand. They gonna be thinking that in the back of their mind while the person is calling them to get this damn microchip. Number 47, come on up, get your microchip. Number 48, come on up. It ain't gonna be too late by that time. They gonna know, damn, a prophet has been amongst us, man. Damn. Cause they gonna go to that corner where they seen the brothers prophesying at, and they ain't gonna be there. They gonna look on YouTube or whatever else, and they ain't gonna find no videos. So the only thing they gonna be left to do is go down there and take that charagma and get chipped and be reserved for that cup of indignation poured out without mixture in Revelation the 14th chapter, the 9th, 10th verse. The 9th and 10th verse. That's the fate of a 2/3 Jake and the fate of the heathens here in America. They will be destroyed after they take that chip when the missiles come. Okay? So let's go ahead and close out 1 Peter 5 and 8. And it reads, 1 Peter chapter 5 and 8, be sober, be vigilant. See? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Okay, this is what we're telling you. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. See? Satan desires to what? Sift you. He wants you. If I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can get that, because I don't want to misquote it. But Yahweh Shah told that to Peter, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna have to look this up because I said something. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, so I need to find that precept. Give me 1 second, then we close out. This is Luke 22:31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. See, so Satan desires to sift us as wheat, man. All right. He wants us to lose our faith. He wants us to what? Quit and put down the plow so that we don't have that hedge or that protection around us. So guess what? You have to be very aware of this. So this is why we have to be sober and vigilant. So now let's go back to 1 Peter 5:8 and close out. It says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. He wants to sift you. He desires to get you away from the truth by losing your faith. Okay? So be very mindful, all right? Don't let the devil play tricks on your mind, man. All right? You right where you're supposed to be at. Everything is going exactly how it's according to go, how it's supposed to go according to prophecy. Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, is on his way. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. All right? Because Satan could work on your mind as well. All right? That's why you have to rebuke those thoughts. Okay? You have to put all those imaginations in subjection to Yahushua. All right? Don't let Satan take control of your thoughts, of your minds. Rebuke him. Okay? Go on a fast. All right? Pray. Okay, because the time we coming into, man, you got to have a sound doctrine. Okay, so we're going to end and close on that note. With that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom. Peace.